So if you have any questions, we could explore together.
So what is the relationship of physical discomfort and emotional discomfort? Is physical discomfort something that is manifest by emotional discomfort or lack of integration?
Emotional discomfort exacerbates physical discomfort, in that emotional discomfort is a form of resistance to an unfolding, wanting things to be in a certain way, wanting things to be according to your plans, your expectations, your imagination. And so there is a psychological resistance to what is, which is what we refer to as the separate self, meaning the me. The source of the psychological discomfort is the belief that consciousness is limited to a body-mind, and therefore the sense of me as an entity, me as a person, as a man, as a woman, etc., arises out of that belief. And conditions, personal conditions, onto the universe, onto consciousness, arise from that dream, from that imagined character. So I want a specific type of relationship, a specific type of result at work. I want a specific type of children to behave in a certain way, etc. There are all sorts of conditions that arise from that belief, from that initial, I think in Christianity they refer to it as the original sin, I believe, the original sin. Don't use this language, but it sort of came to mind. So that original identification of consciousness with a body-mind with a certain form, which is a thought, that arises, that sort of maybe is inherited to a certain extent from the mass ignorance in the space. And the body, being very sympathetic, also feels quickly enough that yes, I am this body, I am not you, I am me, and this is my toy, this is not your toy, etc. The body registers these forms, and in time has a sense of form, has a form sensation, a form impression, an impression of a material impression, sort of a sort of density, which is made out of this psychological structure, which you were referring to as a psychological, what was that, pain, or what's the term? Emotional experience.
I think I get resistance.
Yes. So, in that, as a result of that process, there is an energetic gathering of energy that is sort of focalized, localized around a certain core, and the core belief that I am this body mind. That is a contraction. It's actually a body, a world of contractions that we refer to as the body. From the point of view of ignorance, I'm talking from the point of view of believing that I am a body mind. So the body itself is nothing else but a series of contractions of the open energetic space around a focus, which is the belief in being a body mind. And so bodily physical pain is exacerbated by the psychological situation, because physical pain loves the space to relax. It relaxes in the space and finds the quiet, finds the stillness, finds the peace in the space.
I can see the process of being less stuck in the karmic wheel, in which you basically don't withhold the ability to accept and love yourself and things as they are. And it's essentially this notion that perpetuates the whole striving is that you've got all these things to do, and you're not right until you've done these things, and there's a withholding of basic peace.
Mm-hmm.
So it sort of figures into that, and at some point there's just this kind of general state of dissatisfaction.
Yes. The dissatisfaction, is right from the onset. As soon as there is a me that has tasks to do, no matter what they are, the seed of dissatisfaction is already planted. So the relationship between psychological and physical is more from the psychological to the physical. Now, sometimes there is just a purely physical situation that arises that is painful, and when we add to it the psychological, why is this happening to me? And this, goodness, I thought I was beyond such a pain. I thought that enlightened people don't get the flu. I've been meditating for 20 years. I shouldn't catch a cold anymore. So whenever you are adding a psychological structure to a physical pain, you are to physical a condition, you are tightening the channels. You're obstructing the space around the situation, and so it suffocates and putrefies and causes, further issues, further problems.
Well, then I sort of see too that the energetic, loving energy pre-exists, and so it doesn't come from other people, and it isn't a matter of whether it's being offered by other people. It pre-exists. It's there for your enjoyment.
I'm sorry, the what?
It's there for your enjoyment.
Yeah, what was that? That was there?
That energetic, loving energy.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, that's the open space of presence. That's quality of consciousness is love. It's not that it pre-exists the world, body, mind. It's more that it is the only reality. It's pre-existence is a mind. Existence and pre-existence and post-existence is still in the mind. The eternity of consciousness doesn't pre-exist the world, body, mind. Let's say that the mind, which perceives an external world and external events and an internal self, is like a dream that cannot be without the dreamer. It's when you are in the night dream, you are dreaming of being in the forest, somewhere in Bermuda or wherever. That dream, that image and that sensation is not possible without you, the dreamer. So you do not pre-exist the dream, because your existence is not in time. The existence, consciousness is not in time. It is it's more of it has an eternal quality, and time is an impression, a dream impression that is a mind. It's a mind event.
I see the illusion.
Yeah. So yes, the love, the loving grace is the truth, is the reality of is the reality. Love meaning the absence of separation. It's not love in the sense of I love this or I love that. It's love is when there are no two. Because love between two has a measurement in it, has limitations in it. I love you as much as I can. I love you as long as. I love you if and when. Because it's coming from limitations, coming from the contracted sense of me. But truly love, when we really feel the love, there isn't a me and a you. It's not a mind experience. It's after that the mind says, oh yeah, I love you, and I felt this and I felt that, or I feel this or I feel that. But because the mind tries to, when I say the mind, I mean the limited self, the separate me, tries to appropriate the seat of reality. It tries to be the reality, that I, as a me, as a person, I am the reality. It tries to sneak into the seat of consciousness. It's just in the dream. In fact, it's not possible to sneak into the seat of consciousness, because consciousness is eternity, it's infinity. There is no other. There is no other. You see, there's no other tribe but consciousness. So in the dream, it's a dream impression. That the mind.
I think it's just so interesting that the kind of metaphor of love and love coming from other people is so ingrained in the culture. And if in reality, if in fact it's the only reality, which is I think what I'm getting here, that somehow the mind comes in and utilizes it, makes this a sort of tool for creating distances and just putting the brakes on.
Yeah, it's amusing in a way from the mind's point of view to have players that to play the theater show, the show. The downside of it, the bummer, is that it takes it for real. The mind, separate self, really believes that I am the reality, and therefore it limits. It's no longer playing the game in a fun way because it perceives a sense of danger to me. Like I don't know if you. I remember once playing paintball with my cousin, nephews, and we were out in the forest, out in Maryland somewhere, and we had those paintball guns, and it felt like it was very, very real. We're just shooting these things of paint, and so in a way, like the identification with a form, with an experience, is taken to be real, and so the journey of the spiritual exploration, the spiritual journey, is to come to realize the what's to separate the wheat from the shaft. Shaft, is that the expression? Like when they, what I don't know, to realize what is real and what is less real or not so real, so that so there can be peace and enjoyment and happiness in. We cease to experience this miserable.
It's just again, to go back to the metaphor, it strikes me that I suppose I see the mind being kind of inherently dramatic and always making declarations, and such used to love me more and now they love me less, or something like that. What is that? I mean,
Right.
if you can't hear that you're essentially creating a sort of fictive reality by these declarations,
Yes.
you're just chasing your tail.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like in the meditation, there is the form, the perception, and there is the awareness of. So the awareness is like the mirror, and the images is just reflect in the mirror. But really, the mirror isn't affected by the images that arise in it. It doesn't matter what it is. Except the experience of consciousness is not like there is a separate object. It's actually the image, the images, meaning the mind, is not separate from consciousness. It's like the moonshine. The moon shines. The light of the moonshine is not separate from the sunshine. It is the sunshine that creates the moonshine, the impression of moonshine. But that moonshine its substance is the sunshine.
The mind exists within consciousness.
The substance of the mind is consciousness. This is a consciousness game, really, because there's only one player in town.
Right. Yeah. I mean, there's this sort of gift of energy that comes into this process when you can see the ridiculous and not be not be thrown off by it. It's just there.
Yes.
It's ridiculous.
Yes. So you see the ridiculousness, which is really beautiful because you're coming to an understanding. And then what remains whenever there is an energetic manifestation in the space, to sort of not just see what's arising, but also to have a sense of the space. So whatever is arising is okay. It's an arising, but it's also the infinite space. It's arising in infinite space, and it's like out of the space, somehow out of the space, there is this form that arises. Like sometimes the wind sort of gets together and whips the sand up, and then the sand it looks like. So it's out of the space being the presence, the awareness. You know, the whole thing is based, if you want, soaked through and through with awareness. And so then at the energetic level, at the body level, at the sensation level, there is all this infinite space for whatever is arising to sort of, is a transparency, there are no, the mesh is wide, it's a wide mesh. There is nothing that gets caught in it, everything just goes sort of like through it. Yeah?
It's very clear.
Yeah.
I can see
Yeah.
I also can see that basically if you can see the ridiculous, you can kind of enjoy that it's ridiculous, and that feeds a certain level of present energy that is uplifting. And
yes. It's also helpful to try to locate whenever there is any sort of contraction or any sort of arising, to try to locate the sensation. Try to sort of notice where the sensation is located.
That's an extremely interesting point. I'm trying to get that when we're doing a meditation.
Yeah, and if you do come upon a location, to sort of give it all the space that it needs.
Yeah, that's something I think.
Yeah.
It's very